What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, episode number 109. Me, GamerKnoob. I was doing my resting in the Nexus and recovering people and all that, and this popped up, so I figured we should probably start the episode. Wooljif isn't looking at you. His tail twitches nervously from side to side. Chief, Wooljif scratches at the back of his head, painstakingly choosing each word. I went someplace, you see, to an abandoned mansion. It's in the upper city, not far from an meticulous place. You can't miss it. What do you mean you went to an abandoned mansion? Well, I walked, used my feet, you know, that's how people walk. I woke you up. We're not complete strangers, you know. I need this, Chief. I've been thinking a lot here about myself and you and the moon of the abyss, and yeah, alright, I'm lying. I didn't think. I tried not to think. Only the shadow started talking to me, and even when I didn't want it to. It told me where I needed to go, said I needed to come to terms with who I am, but maybe I don't want to understand. Maybe I'm better off being kept in the dark. I already know who I am. I'm a poor thief and a loser, born at the wrong time in the wrong place to the wrong people, but I want to be stronger, you know. I'm used to this moon of the abyss, and if it can give me even more, I'll take it. Otherwise, this Votil will keep bothering me till the end of my days, and everyone else will keep kicking me around. I know I'm kind of in your gang, I mean your party, and that helps things, but it can't keep going on like this forever, you know? Everything's gonna fall apart someday, and the party will fall apart too. I need this power. It could be dangerous. I'm coming with you. What? No, Chief, it's my business. I'll figure it out myself, just like I just told you because I don't know why. I wanted to tell you. I already dragged you into the nest of Votil. Just think of it like an apology, you know, but no more. If you want to come congratulate me once I got the power, you should come, but I'll do it myself. I don't want to go get used to always running off to someone as soon as I need help. It's not normal. Friends don't abandon each other in difficult situations. I want to go with you. Friends? Aw, come on. You know I don't believe in stuff like that. Come on, then. If you're so desperate, you can stand and watch. You act like my bodyguard if you want. I don't mind. Alright. We also have Grey Boar that we need to talk to. That popped up as I was doing all my resting, but I figured it out. If you cast, you can break feeble-minded with break enchantment, but the check was 35, and it's a caster level check. So it was a straight D20 plus 15, so that wasn't happening. So, but you can also cure it just by casting heal. That's nice. Hey, Grey Boar. Interesting news has reached my ears, Gregor. There's been talk among the more disreputable citizens of Elashunera that someone is hiring those vicious thugs and cutthroats to kill a certain Willidus. A familiar name, isn't it? I strongly suspect it's the same Willidus who set me up during the assassination of Darazand. I'd call that a fortuitous coincidence. Remind me again, what do you have against Willidus? Can't wait to have a few words with that fellow. He contracted me to kill a Baelor in Darazand and insisted that I use a magical dagger he gave me, which turned out to be defective. My target escaped, and even though it only postponed his death by a few days, it sullied my reputation. This means, of course, that Willidus will have to pay. I'm not sure how I will collect that payment in gold or his life. How'd you obtain this information? I'm an assassin. If I didn't know how to obtain rumors, it'd be out of work. I visited a few taverns, including a place called Bad Luck. It's a real cesspool, and information flows into it from all over the city. I was approached by someone who was looking for thugs to hire. He was the one who told me everything. I would have found out more if I had talked to him longer, but after he called me a bloody larva, he needed the dentist and I needed a new mug of beer. Who's this Willidus? Here's what I know about our prey. He's a demon and a wizard powerful enough to enjoy high status in the city. Lately he's been surrounded by himself a small army of mercenaries, but they are mere thugs who lack the skills of professional bodyguards. Ever since Willidus found out about the bounty on his head, he hasn't left his mansion. I suspect it's full of traps. I wouldn't underestimate the danger of facing Willidus. They were looking for real daredevils to bring him down, which means this whole business is almost certainly risky, maybe even suicidal. Who wants Willidus dead? An anonymous entity who apparently has more brains than Willidus and is smart enough to keep a name a secret from his employees. I bet it's one of those Deskarites. Darazand was one of Deskari's lackeys after all, and even though internal strife never ends within that snake pit, they always team up against external threats. What do you suggest? I'll be damned if I let a bunch of incompetent thugs get to him before me. No, first I must have a little chat with Willidus, and then they can do whatever they want with him. How will we leave those hapless goons in the dust and visit Willidus' mansion first? Sounds like an exciting challenge, doesn't it? You want to kill Willidus? Not necessarily. Perhaps I'd rather have the full weight of compensation in gold. And yet, the longer my vengeance is delayed, the stronger my desire goes to collect the debt in another way. How do we find Willidus? His mansion is in the upper city. It's called the House of Wicked Knowledge. I'm not sure how wicked his knowledge is exactly, but he is truly wicked when it comes to business agreements. Alright, let's pay him a visit. Excellent. I think our conversation will involve some good old-fashioned violence. Sounds good to me, bud. Sounds good to me. Alright, let's check our quests here, shall we? Of course, have walking on corpses, locating the handful of miners, art of making friends, vie for Shamir's attention, conquest. Many doesn't know our name already on site. Alright. Rapture. Lady Valexia. Okay. And that's the Nameless Ruins. That's Finian's Awakening. The Wicked. We gotta meet Nocticula. Heart's Desire. Talk to the Madam of the 10,000 Brothel. Conversation with Greybore. Darkmoon Rising. Go to the abandoned mansion in the upper city. Visit Willidus with Greybore in the House of Knowledge. Storyteller. And perfect. Alright. Seems good to me. Let's go, shall we? I wish you would run instead of walk. You know what we might do, actually? We might have to... Let's see here. What's been messing with my... Maybe we'll turn it on medium and we'll throw off that. Maybe that will end up helping. It'll give us a little bit less quality, but I think that's okay. Alright, who were we missing? I took Seal out, that's right. Just so I could, bring people in, do the healing and stuff. Figure out how to get rid of all the badness that we had. Our good old wizard can cast spells now, which is nice. Oh, let's take a look at our food bonus too. I chose a new food while I was resting. You don't have radiance. You have radiance. Huh. But yeah, I wanted to check out the food. Eating the favorite dish allows the cast Cure Light Wounds, Cure Moderate Wounds, Cure Serious Wounds if she's one level higher. Oh, nice. So it's a +4 concentration check and increase the DC of saving throws against all spells we cast by 2. Beautiful. Alright, let's head out. We got places to be. Let us be off. Going up to the middle city, I do believe. It seems like it's running a little bit better now, actually. That's just nice. We had to drop the graphics a little bit, but we're not really here for the graphics, right? We're here for the game, the story, all that. We need to find all the different random places in here to go to. There's so many things to do, I feel like, in this place. It's just... It's overwhelming because it's so compact. It's I don't like it. And I know I'm gonna miss stuff. But I just don't like how compact this place is. Wasn't there a portal over here? Or maybe not. No, it was over here. That's right. I'm gonna go down here and check this out. To the Fleshmarkets. Let's go. Saving still takes a while, but it looks like it's running a lot better than what it once was. So that's good. Talk to the slave trader? No. Kurz, who do you happen to be? Oh, there's Hepsamira. Looking to buy slaves, eh? Me, I just sold off a shipment I captured during the last raid. I'm Kurz, captain of the bloody bitch. Who are you? Who am I? I'm Kurz. Nobody saw him as Kurz got stabbed, captain of the legendary bloody bitch, and I am the most famous damn pirate in the Midnight Isle. You must be a landlubber who's never set foot aboard an airship if you haven't heard of me. Travel to faraway lands whenever you want, but choose to be a pirate? Only a real scumbag would waste that kind of freedom on robbery and murder. Aye, lad, the scummiest. Do you know Amir Lura? That nutjob? Our entire crew must be wimps and weaklings if they hadn't slit such a leader's throat or fed her to Ishiar's beasts yet. You can't help but notice that despite Kurz's dramatic bravado, a spark of fear gleams in his eyes. Tell me more about being a pirate. What do you want to know exactly? The life of a pirate ship captain consists of 4 things: his vessel, his crew's experience, and Pazuzu's patronage, of course. You already have wings of your own. Why do you need a flying ship? Sure, and what do you propose I do with all the loot carried on my back? What about the slaves we tuck into the cargo? Well, the ship is a big flying treasure chest. It also provides a fair amount of cover from arrows and spells that rain down on us during boardings. Tell me about your vessel. You'll recognize my bloody bish right away. By the huge skull decorating her prow, we secured the trophy near Vazglar, and there was a great fight for it. A few other captains wanted to lay their hands on it as well. Aside from the skull, we've done good work on the bloody bish. You can't find a better attack vessel. Her broadside can take a dragon strike, her 3/4 sails can catch any wind, and her ballistae don't rely on lousy spears, only alchemical fire. What kind of crew do you have on board? Toughest rogues and cutthroats you could ever want. They're my hand-picked collection, each one as bad as the next. They're the most notorious rabble, the most infamous scoundrels you could ever find in the abyss. They'd sell their own mothers into slavery for a chipped copper. Turn on me? Never. Nobody else could land them a better deal than I can. If they ditched me... Sorry, I thought I felt something touch my shoulder, but nothing's in here. I'm tired. If they ditched me, they wouldn't make it 3 steps before taking a knife in the back. They got no choice but to follow me till the end. So how many ships have you plundered? The Bloody Beach is well known in the Midnight Isles, and her black sail sows terror wherever she goes. Can't count how many poor souls have into to Dagon. I was leading the charge saber in hand back in the days when Valexia was flashing her bare tits in the skies over Lucianira. And then was Zephyrian, that old rapscallion, ruled the city. As for loot, the treasures that passed through my hands, and I spent them all on booze. Tell me a thrilling tale. You like gory stories, eh? Fine. Once we were floating by Megor when our lookout spotted the wreckage of a ship caught in a hurricane, so we decided to search for cargo, but instead we only found a sailor who was clutching at the wreckage. We fished him out, brought him to his senses, hung him up on the mast, questioned him properly. Our ship's cook knows how to loosen tongues with his knife. Long story short, the poor sod spilled that he was a pirate himself. His ship set sail from one of Alir's deserted islands where they hid part of their spoils. We smelled a windfall, so we rushed to Alir, but Alir, that place isn't for the faint-hearted. Predatory vines, carnivorous flowers that breathe out clouds of poisonous pollen, and walking bushes that surround you, pounce on you and sting you with thorns so you die. Oh, and did I mention toxic springs, where the flies that crawl in your ears while you sleep and lay their eggs inside your brain, driving you insane? All in all, the place was a nightmare, and we found ourselves right in the middle of it all. 3 times our prisoners told us where to check for the stash. Each time we dug, all we found was dirt and bones. By the 3rd attempt, that damned island had already wiped out half the crew. We realized that asshole was playing us, so we gutted him. And you know what we saw then? All his entrails were covered with whitish mold and overgrown with some spongy fungus. His heart, his guts, his brain, the gunk was everywhere. According to our ship's dock, the fungus controlled everyone of the sailor's steps. He got infected on Alir, then he left to the island to lure in fresh fodder for the plants. We fled as soon as we could, but for a long, long time I couldn't believe those damned weeds got so smart they were able to trick us. I mention Pazuzu quite often. Do you worship him? Sure I do, only total idiots don't worship the demon lord of the sky and the winged creatures. Well, at least if we're talking about an aeronauts. All the storm, wind currents, and beasts who feed on those currents, they all bend to his will, that's why I bombard Lord Pazuzu with my prayers as often as I can. Bye. May Lord Pazuzu feel your sails with the wind, stranger, but no more than mine. Pleasure slaves. I don't think we need any of those. If you want to get these sweet Azamars for the 10,000 delights, cough up 50,000. Just look how delicious they are. These girls haven't yet been whipped. Your clients will be clamoring for them, and after they become too worn out, they'll make a magnificent stew. I'll give you 30 if you stop talking rubbish, Younk, or keep going and you can steer clear of my palace of delights. You can pleasure yourself on your own, you fat chunk of rotten meat. Do you want to get on Shivaro's bad side? Do you really want that? The Azamir slaves standing nearby try to avoid looking at the angry demoness. Even in their miserable position, they retain the mark of inner purity and nobility inherent to their kind. 50,000. For these delightful and innocent creatures you shabby and worn-out demonesses can't hope to compete with. That is my final offer. Step away from the 10,000 delights and you can have your own little morsels pleasure you from now on, you greedy, horny piece of shit. Allow me to present my living wares. The finest household slaves to serve you and entertain my body and spirit, and they can satiate even the most exquisite cravings. What are you arguing about with that demoness? She wanted to buy my beautiful Azamir concubines for her palace pleasures, the 10,000 delights. Unfortunately, her common sense and good taste couldn't compete with her greed. She offered me a paltry price next to nothing, instead of gratefully paying the full sum for these slaves. Offering 30,000 gold for innocent pure Azamir shipped here with the almost care. No one has laid a single finger on them, and no one has taken a single bite out of them. It's simply outrageous. Who are you? I'm Younk, the slave trainer. When I was younger and much more slimmer, I was a dashing raider. I spent my days abducting concubines from other planes for the harems of the most powerful lords of the abyss. My experience, however, showed me that raising and training pleasure slaves from an early age is much more profitable and much less risky business. That's why I now own the largest, most respectable slave farm, where I breed representatives of various races from different planes, though I haven't entirely given up on raiding. Oh my. I'll buy the slaves. Oh, I see you're a connoisseur. I'd like you to warn that these little birds will cost you a pretty penny. They're price scared off a madam of the 10,000 delights, but for Shamira, to whom I intended to sell these fresh Azamir beauties, 50,000 as spare chains, I'm willing to sell them to you for the same price. If we do not intervene, these women will be doomed by the celestial blood that flows in their veins. There's nothing more tantalizing for a demon than befouling, abusing, and destroying any being with ties. We have no right to stand by and leave these unfortunate fates. Yeah, here. You won't regret it. In the abyss, goods like these are a rarity. I wish you the most exquisite enjoyment of your purchase. If you wish, I can give you an excellent recipe for braised shanks. Just send one of your household slaves along to pick it up. Whisper directions to the nexus to the slaves. Find my way to your my camp. Thank you, stranger. We do not accept any help in this terrible place. We will not forget it. You did a noble thing when you did not abandon the weak in the hour of need. You have my deepest respect. But also, like, hey, what's your wares? Show me what you have for sale. Just feast your eyes on them, the most exquisite pleasure slaves raised in comfort and luxury at your service. They are trained, neat, and docile, and stand ready to become ideal servants for your manor. All of them are young and healthy in the perfect state of ripeness. Of course, we have that sure that their tender flesh meets the expectations of even the most demanding gourmet. They have no inkling of what awaits them, so you need not worry about fear of spoiling the meat, making it tough and bitter. I'll buy your pleasure slaves as well. It's been a long time since I've had the Nahedrian goods for these, for say, if you know what I mean. They cost you 25,000 gold. Whispers the high price. These poor mortals don't realize they are no better than cattle. When the time comes for them to be led to the slaughter, their minds will not grasp that their kind master has reared them for torment and death. Anyone who makes a deal with the demon looks exactly like them in the end. A naive fool mocked by all who know. Why do you call them Nahedrian? When we say Nahedrian, we mean of the finest quality, that's all. Everyone in the city keeps talking about some Nahedrian crystals that grant them its power, but no one can say what they really are. The only thing we know is that they exist, and their owners suddenly become unbelievably powerful. But as long as no one knows what they really are, you can call anything Nahedrian, you see? Yep. Excellent. Stronger and keen the slaves on the diet of local ocean mollusks. This will help them stay athletic and fit. It also gives their meat a pleasantly spicy, musky taste. These poor souls raised by demons and like cattle for slaughter, you have broken their golden chains. At first, they will hate the harsh world you have delivered them into, but only because they are naive. I, however, celebrate your compassion. Got anything else? Show me what you have for sale. I feel you have nothing to offer. A discerning customer such as yourself. The slaves I have for sale are trained to please demons, not Galarians. You may find their dresses a trifle rough, perhaps even disfiguring. I want to kill him. But not yet. We can't just go murdering everybody. They have the upper hand in this place.
Can't hide from me.
Air method? Raggy? Oh, ruh-roh. The champion who gives you a smarmy bow looks like he once tried to split in two, then changed his mind. His chest is twice as wide as it should be, and double pupils stare at you from front of each of his eyes. Every time this freaky creature opens his mouth, an impressive goiter swells up on his neck. His voice is an unpleasant, croaking quality as of a giant toad taking a president's throat. Would you like to buy some fresh flesh? You can call me Raggy. I'm at your service. Who are you? What are you selling? Everyone calls me Raggy, and the name's just fine by me. I'm here in the top vendor in the Fleshmarket, so no matter what others think. They sell expensive, classy goods, whereas I specialize in wrap on riffraff. My goods cost 10 times less than what the others are selling, but I have 100 times more clients than everyone else. Everybody's a slave. Cheap, maybe slightly defective, but still a slave. Big shots from the other city prefer to do business with others, but so what? The middle city feels much better to me. Raggy raises his voice for the last part. You notice the demon standing nearby, cast cautious glances at the insolently grinning Cambion. It seems the shabby specimen has some authority here after all. Besides, I don't just sell live goods, I sell the stuff that used to belong to these poor fools as well. You'll find some extremely valuable and interesting items among the loot taken during the slave raids. Casual on towards Ember, the demon grimaces with disgust. Incidentally, I'm willing to take this crippled waif off your hands. If you expect to sell her yourself, don't bother. No one will buy such a puny thing, but I can add her to my lot of Galarian slaves. You're mistaken, I'm not for sale. Show me the spoils you've looted. Where'd you come from? Get out of here. I feel like we just randomly got a bunch of things back. And I'm slightly confused. We're not selling anything until I check my gear.
I'll make my own legend.
Marion Greatsword. Is this because I got like attacked at night or something? It must have been. Huh. You were unequipped too, weren't you? I'm gonna keep it equipped just in case. I'm just not gonna use it. Alright. Let's talk to him again. Show me the spoils you've looted. Now I feel more comfortable selling things. let's check out what he's got. Trophies are a plus 10 competence bonus on knowledge arcana checks. Okay. Plus 2 insight on attack and damage rolls. Plus 4, whereas 30-foot order, all enraged allies. I assume this is for the teleporting. This is kind of tempting. So, you don't have a shirt. I mean, it's for, obviously, it's also for, it's for knowledge arcana checks, but it's also for witches, but I could get too many stacking bonuses. Here you go, girl. It's fine. You can have it. Okay. Let's talk about slaves. Show me your slaves. I can offer you shipment of Galarian slaves. They certainly aren't the best shape. Galarians are the notorious for fragility, but torturing them sure is fun. Galarian slaves are clad in torn rags, their bodies emaciated, many have wounds and cuts, their blank indifference to everything happening around them suggests these unfortunates lost any hope of escape long ago. But you poor souls, what have they done to you? It's over now. We'll help you. Where are you from? Come from all over, my lady paladin. Most are captured back in Knobris. As for me, I got caught on my way to Nerosia, and I was on leave going to visit my family. It's quite a journey you've had, but you will get to Nerosia and see your family again, I swear on my life. You hear me? Hold tight and tell the others not to lose heart. We must get them out of here at all costs. We can't abandon our own. If we did, we'd be worse than the scum. Ursula's presence causes a rumble of discontent among the slaves. She flinches under their angry and hateful gazes. She opens her mouth to say something, but fails to find the right words and just sadly lowers her eyes. Wait, bitch, what are you looking at? If you wish, you can also purchase a little blighter. He won't be of much use, but you can... Oh, he nods at the mephit in the cage. But you can entertain you for some time, torturing him. His sharp tongue and quite resilient. I guarantee you'll spend several interesting and pleasant evenings killing this little freak. Sell me that mephit. I won't ask for much for the nasty piece of crap. 10,000. Watch your fingers. A little prick bit off you of mine. Bring it over. His fingers are far more knuckles than typical. The mephit climbs out of the cage, then gazes at you with round eyes. So you just bought me, eh? Meaning I'm your slave now. That's funny. Why don't you just go? You miss the colorful ending of the phrase because you try to avoid retribution as the mephit spreads wings and soars upward, becoming nothing more than a dark speck in the sky within a moment. That was the goal anyway. I was letting him go. How awkward. You should have grabbed him as soon as he was out. Here, take these as a consolation prize. This is a ring of Nahedrian courage, an extremely valuable item. All the best gladiators wear these. You knew that would happen. Give me back my 10,000 or else. Hey, relax. It's just a joke. It's just teasing you a little. Here, your gold back. Everything's fine now. Right, friends? I'll buy the slaves. 15,000 gold coins. I won't accept any less. I can get 50,000 selling those wretches as meat. Except, Raggy looks at one of the slaves who can barely stand. The subtle motion, he throws a spell that slits the unfortunate throat as if he uses a serrated knife. Raggy spits in disgust at the body on the ground. He doesn't even bother to wipe the splash from his blood. That one's completely defective. It's shameful to offer it to a respectable buyer. Maybe crouches and growls softly. There aren't many things that can anger the guileless dragon, but it looks like the slaver managed to do just that. The heavy silence of the hand in the inheritor is almost palpable. It fills the air like the calm before the storm. He killed him like an animal. Oh heaven, I knew it was descending into the depths of evil, but there must be a limit. There must be a limit to it at all. If not today, then someday I will descend to this den of sin to punish the murderers and save their victims. Give me the slaves. May the slaves look at you with hope. They're drained but not yet broken. The captain who looks even worse than his peers almost falls with strings popping off their shoulders. One of the slaves, a scrawny young man with a crippled leg and a hungry wolfish face, slowly gets on one knee before you. May the gods bless you, my lord. They've sent you to help us. Explain the slaves how to get the Nexus. Thank you for standing up for us. We'll never forget your kindness. You did as every true Galarian should by saving you from your home world from slavery. Thanks to people like you, my heart holds no doubt that we will emerge victorious from this struggle. Poor guy. What do you got? Lit. Terrible, dude. I'm terrible. We do not need to go talk to Hepzimira, but I'm just kind of looking around first. Alright, let's spend even more money. This is like a money sink. They're like, you probably gained a lot of money, so we need you to spend some of it. The tall, thin vendor is swathed in a loose black robe. He's not a demon, but it's impossible to determine his race. Expressionless and hairless face is covered in tattoos is made of wax. His eyes are motionless. As you approach, the black figure almost doubles over. He sweeps into a low bow. The vendor moves with a supernatural delicacy and grace impossible for a human. He extends his arms, also covered in tattoos, towards you. The ink on his palm comes to life and forms the words, "Greetings, I am Krivas, vendor of magical lunatics. I can sense shadows, evil shadows that once served their old master, Virivaxus, whom I fought valiantly but had not the strength to defeat. Beware this one, champion, for he is linked to powers both formidable and cunning. Something inside you awakens and casts a fiery glance at the slaver. You can see the darkness curling under the thin layer of his skin, or rather a shadow resembling darkness, a demon of woven shadows. What kind of slaves can you offer? With a slight nod, Kribus points to a group of slaves standing nearby. All of them are completely motionless, their backs unnaturally straight. They seem to be drugged. Their eyes are entirely black without a hint of pupil. And in the depths, tiny blue sparks flicker in the night sky. From time to time, some of the slaves utter something uncanny or barely comprehensible and then fall silent again. Tiny inklets begin to appear rapidly on the slaver's palm as if drawn by a skilled scribe. My lunatics, magical ingredients for ritual sacrifices, dissolved in blood, fermentation finished, distillation finished, deposited into practical self-propelled storage units inside the slaves' bodies. High magical potential. The goods were examined and certified by esteemed Willadus, approved for trading. There's darkness inside them, not mundane darkness, which is merely the absence of light, but embodied darkness that begets evil and possesses awareness instead of being emptiness and nothing. What cursed substances did he pump to these unfortunates? Keep an eye on them, for the darkness inside them waits for the right moment to be born in the world. What have you done to these slaves and why? Snakes made of letters crawl over the Kribus' hands. They are no longer slaves, they are vessels of magic. Their bodily fluids were drained and replaced by potions and decoctions imbued with energies. Their dried mummies were filled with the dampness of magic, and their dehydrated brains were filled with the mysteries of the universe, top quality. Nahedrian, as they say here in Lushaneer. I'll buy your lunatics. The slaver gives you a false emotional smile. Intricate symbols appear on his hands. I'm buying all of them. Fine. Kribus' mouth falls wide open. Any human who tried to imitate this grimace would find their jaw badly dislocated. With the delicate, neat movements, the vendor places the gold into his black, gaping maw. Handful by handful until he swallows all the money you paid him. He makes a delicate gesture toward the slaves and gives an approving nod. The line of letters run over their face. Don't delay using them. Magic is unpredictable. The Felix don't seem to realize they have a new owner. They continue to daydream quietly, staring at something inside their minds and sometimes whispering inexplicable things. Champion, heed the advice that I give you, though I do not do so with a heavy heart. Do not let these unfortunates into your camp, for darkness is branded to the ominous mark. They pose a threat, and my heart tells me that any attempt to show them mercy will lead to great loss and bloodshed. You're free. Your words make no impression on the lunatics. Practically understand this. Words, they cannot be set free. Too late, I already did it. Okay, slaves you offer. Show me your magic wares. Spells 3 levels higher. Arcane persistence. 4th time, so if you cast spell 4 times. Attack of opportunity. If they sign a Baphomet, you can summon 2. So, okay. Like buying the ingredients. I need like all 8 of those, please. So many scrolls. Wands are probably useful too, but like, meh. Just want to see if he's got anything else, you know? I already got that. Take the money, buddy. Got anything else to talk about? Who are you and where did you come from? 3 words appear on the vendor's palms. Kribus is from everywhere. The secretive stranger smiles lifelessly and shrugs. His soft flowing movements are so smooth as almost to be indiscernible, as if he were not a creature of flesh, but rather melting wax. Bye. Let's save again and go up this side. We bought all the slaves. I'm just letting all the slaves go, man. I know they'll get more, but it just feels like the right thing to do. What are you? 2 evil creatures summon.
Let's move.
Mandragoras. Ramisa. The eyes of the translucent Merilith carefully observe her surroundings. It seems this is not merely an image, but the projection of the creature's consciousness, while her physical body is located somewhere far from here. Next to the Merilith fidgets a shriveled mandrake, which utters the occasional displeased shriek. Visitor from another plane. I'm Ramisa, known as the Sloughed Skin. I am no simple vendor, but a true artist of the slave trade. My warehouse is currently stand empty, but we can always arrange for a custom order. What would you like to acquire? Perhaps your enemy's son or daughter, bound by magic and powerless in the face of anything that you might wish to do to them? An attractive person who once dared to reject you? The little brat who bullied you as a child? Lushaneer is the place where all your dreams come true, especially if they are dirty, bloody, and sweet dreams of possession or revenge. Once when I was very little and Azana stepped on my tail, he didn't even say sorry, but if you ever think I would ask for you to catch him for me, you're truly foolish and unscrupulous demon. I would never deal with someone like you. If the memory still stings once I'm back in Elysium, I'll find that Azana and step on his tail myself. Oh, what a sweet and adorable dragon, and from Elysium no less, how cute. Don't try to suck up to me, I know suck up when I see one. What do you mean by artist of the slave trade? While others trade for material gain, I do it for art. Unlike others, I'm not involved in the faceless shipment of goods. Each slave who passes through my hands has a personality. Each sale is spiritual experience. Not long ago, I sent my hunters down to track down and capture a brave rebel fighting for the freedom of his people, and then I sold him. I chained him and dressed him as a pleasure slave to the tyrant who had enslaved his homeland. Some may call it cliche, but I call it classic. So what I see standing here is just your projection? Certainly, it's not safe to appear in the flesh market in person, especially for someone like me. You see, before I switched to this line of work, I was a humble gardener. I used to grow mandrakes. It's a well-known fact that mandrakes grow if you water an ordinary weed with demon blood or if you plant it in the demon's corpse. The allies, lovers, and masters of those who I turn into foes are still searching for me. Thus, I conduct my business remotely, and in the same way, when I have slaves to sell, first I show their projections, and only after they're sold do I deliver them to the buyer. Buy. I guess they don't have anything for me to do. That's fine. Oh, there's Shamira as well. Oh, I do have the coin for this. Nice, okay. Don't remind me, just grabbing loot. Oh, hide of a magical creature. Nice, we need some of that. Alright, more money to blow here, probably. Stern-looking demon stands between you, bristling with what seems to be an arsenal of weapons and copious scars. Suggest he's been hacked to pieces more than once. His face is hidden under a grotesque obsidian mask attached to his flesh by thin threads of inning and hooks. The hooks are threaded into the skin and wounds bleed profusely as if inflicted mere moments ago. The mask resembles a sinister black mollusk enveloping the face of its victims. When he speaks, the slaver's voice muffled. Greetings, stranger. I am Worldwound, legend of the Battle Bliss. Are you looking to buy some battle slaves, or do you need weapons for you and yourself and your servants? What is the mask you wear? The first champion fought wearing this mask. The final champion will fight wearing it on the day when the world ceases to exist. In this mask I was invincible, and I conquered the Battle Bliss and made all the Lucianair bow before me. I thought to pass it to Gelderfang, my apprentice, but besides many talents and the art of killing, he loved his life far too much. He was afraid of death. He frightened to fight me and take the mask. He's not a true gladiator, not a real champion, but no one aside from the true children of the arena is capable of understanding this. The mask is strikingly different from the ones we're looking for to solve the riddles in the nameless ruins. Still, it's unique. I'd like to examine it. Otter Demon, hand it over immediately for experiment. I promise not to break it. No. Please? No. I'll mention your name in my encyclopedia over my dead body. Nidio, give it a rest. But what about the experiment? Who are you? I'm Worldwound Blackmask. I was champion of the arena, and I fought and killed in the name of my mistress, Shamira. I worshipped her. I was her slave and her bodyguard. She was flattered by the many killings dedicated to her honor and by the shouts of the crowd chanting her name. But then I had a dark revelation. I realized Shamira was not worthy of my worship. She owned me, but my true mistress was the one that entered the arena with me, her hand in mine, death. So I dedicated my next victim to her instead of Shamira. My mistress was enraged. She arranged a fight in the arena when I had no hope of winning. I was hacked and cut, torn apart, choked, ground to dust by magic, and impaled on spears. But still, I did not die. My remains were stitched back together piece by piece. Death was with me that day, and I returned even more powerful, but the fights lost their appeal after that. Any immortal gains no glory fighting mortals, so I left the arena and I no longer kill by my own hand. Now I offer gifts to death by the hands of my gladiators I train. I take their names and their dreams, and in return I give them weapons of the dark revelation of death. Show me who you're selling. I'm selling death itself. Death lurks in my gladiators' hands and in their eyes. They can kill so swiftly, you'll not even see them strike. They can kill so slowly, their opponent's death makes for the spectators shiver in ecstasy. And they embrace their own deaths with such dignity that their names soar from the lips of the crowd into the dark sky, straight into the hands of merciful death. The gladiators are a mix of all races and ages. Do indeed look tough and dangerous. Powerful bodies, bloodthirsty gazes, and deft yet casual grips on their weapons show them to be true masters of their art. They resemble a pack of predators at rest before a bloody hunt where they will tear and gut their prey. Glances they exchange are amiable but not warm, for tomorrow each may have to kill the other in front of a screaming crowd. Slaves are good in a fight, why don't they rebel and free themselves? The arena is their home, and other gladiators their family, and their fight is their sole purpose in life. Fighting is their only path to glory and carefree life of luxury, but to win in the arena you need a distinguished and influential master who will provide you with an experienced trainer, good weapons, decent food, and skillful lovers to salve your wounds. But would such a distinguished and influential demon just take on just any no-name wannabe? Of course not. That's why when a demon wishes to purchase a gladiator for the arena, they come to me. And the best fighters pay enormous sums to be my slaves and trainees. I'm their only hope of making it to the top. I'll buy your gladiators. You look genuine, you're a killer. I suppose I can sell you all my gladiators. 35,000 gold for the 35,000 enemies they'll kill in your honor. Deal. Would you like us to go to the Battle Bliss, I presume? Wait for me at the Nexus. Master, do you doubt our fighting skills? Would you like us to continue training in your camp under your supervision? Believe us, we're ready to conquer the arena. We'll prove ourselves worthy. Brothers and sisters, grab your weapons. Head to the camp for a new master. Double time in full gear. If anyone falls behind, kill them. Death to the weak. Oh dear, what have I done? Which ones you're selling? They're not fully trained. My gladiators and I come from a range of planes and are accustomed to fighting a different style, so I have a wide selection. I'm positive you'll find something that fits your hand, no matter how many hands nature gave you. The items I have here are the best example of Nehedrian weapons. Why do you keep calling them Nehedrian? Rumors have been going around that some magical Nehedrian crystals that grant immense power to the owners. No one knows for certain where they come from or what they really are, but everyone desires them. Lucianera has become obsessed with things called Nehedrian. That's why everyone in Lucianera calls top quality goods Nehedrian now. Show me what you got. We don't want a sigh. We don't want a sling staff. Greatsword, the exterminator. I'm okay. I think I'm good on most of that. It's a two-bladed sword. +5. Flowing half plate. Reflex save bonus. Belt of Bloodlust? Belt of Strength +6 grants wearer 15 aura, which makes all enemies in their... Belt of +6? I need it. I mean, it's expensive, but I mean, really, like... +6 to the strength, please, yes. And then we have this +4 physical might, +4 strength and constitution. Dexterity and constitution. Strength and dex. +6 constitution. There you go. Upgrade for you, bud. Alright, I think we've about spent all the money we're gonna hopefully need to spend through here, because it's been expensive in here, man. Oh, well, maybe not. Venture Captain Christoph. A lean old man with his back as stiff as a pike staff casts a piercing look at you. His gray hair and luxurious sideburns grant him an imposing and significant demeanor. Greetings, I'm Count Christoph Rolano. I have the honor of serving as a venture-free captain of the Pathfinder Society, heading the branch of the Society in Lucianera and its adjacent territories. If you need the services of Pathfinders, I can be of assistance. Casting a sharp glance at you, Christoph hands you a sealed letter. I admit your appearance here did not surprise me because I recently received this letter. It's been addressed to you and I have held it in anticipation. What's in it? I'm not in the habit of reading a letter addressed to others, and I have no idea why would you think otherwise. However, knowing Venture Captain Helor, I would assume it's about his persistent vendetta against the dangerous sorcerer called the Spinner of Nightmares. How did Helor deliver this letter to you? Pathfinder Society has many agents across many different planes. They came, along with a touch of magic, provided us with the most widespread and effective mail delivery service you can imagine. My duty has been done. Tell me about yourself. I am a noble, a good Asmodean, and a Pathfinder who have earned the honor of being sent to the most unwanted task, to the most repulsive point in the world, and ready to provide you with a few good fighters. What else are you interested in? Who are you? Christoph Rolano of Longmarch, a hereditary Count of Cheliax and a venture count of the Pathfinder Society. Pathfinder Society has long planned to open a branch in the Abyss. For obvious reasons, this appointment didn't make anyone especially happy. However, as people of honor, we Pathfinders of my lodge couldn't let squeamishness stand in the way of duty. All of us volunteered for the mission, and then the Decemvirate chose me as the most suitable candidate. Why recent to the Abyss? To buy slaves, of course, or rather redeem slaves. Pathfinder Society sent me to provide help to the dwellers of Galarian who have been saved by demons. Each day I go to the slave market with a bag of gold and return to our shelter with a crowd of poor folks whose freedom I managed to buy. Unfortunately, there are always too many slaves and too little gold. We send to the ones we saved to Galarian. Some of them are opportunists and fighters who are unlucky enough to be imprisoned. They are grateful to the society and ready to provide services to repay for their rescue. When people who are looking for mercenaries contact me, my charges go to serve them, and the repayment for their services fill our coffers for continued redemption of slaves. Jew is merciful. I personally think that an enemy has to be fought against, not traded with, but the management of the society did not heed my advice. What's it like living in the Abyss? Abominable. The Abyss is a savage place where everything that can be designed in the wrong way is. It's clear. I want to help the society with fighting fun. Society has a fixed charity rates preventing corruption. I personally find this practice very wise. Donation to the prisoners of the Abyss is 50,000. Price high, but it'll give freedom to the unfortunate, so be it. There you go. Pathfinder Society is grateful for your help. The unfortunate folk enslaved by demons will glorify your name throughout the Abyss. Let's go. Alright. Well, we know what's next. Hebzamira. Master Celerix died, decided to behold Lady Hebzamira and Lady Shamira as great honor for him. How may I assist you? Hebzamira is looking to buy some slaves, the best slaves for an important job. Allow me to present this fine specimen. An extraordinarily belligerent, destructive, and vicious slave. He's killed 7 hunters before his capture. Shut your mouth, meatball. Your breath stinks out, and glad to use your bodyguards to look for a pack of strong demons, ones who are not very bright and can obey orders. In that case, perhaps my lady would be interested in this batch of creatures recently captured in the lower city. They're all strong and quite stupid. Zamira, what do you want with these puny creatures? They're small fry, fit only to be cannon fodder for the Crusaders, I would suggest. Seem fine to me. Finish the preparation, send them to the harem of ardent dreams, and be quick about it. Oh my. What this? Loot. Hey there, buddy. Demon looks like a ball of lumpy melting flesh, hovers in the air. He clenches a whip in his hand. The demon emanates an aura of confidence and authority. He snorts sternly at a skinny tiefling standing nearby, whose eyes are skillfully shown shut with black silk thread studded with diamond chips. The demon mutters something incomprehensible to you. Master Sir Zaxxas welcomes you to the Fleshmarket's visitor from another plane. He notices right away that you're the person of means, though he himself has no interest in doing business with you. Your presence benefits the Fleshmarket, so Master Sir Zaxxas is prepared to spare you some of his time. The slave will interpret his words for you, for he loathes speaking in any language except the one he used in his home world. Suture's hideous face is marked with desperation. Overcoming his pride, he reaches out to you with a gnarled hand, beseeching your help with his humiliated gesture. It's Suture. You like big words, don't you? Tell me, is there a fancy term to describe someone who does bad things to other people and finds himself in desperate need of their help for later? There is. It is called karmic justice, also known as bad luck. Master Sir Zaxxas is happy to see the Lady Arushale again and wishes her pleasant purchases at the flesh market. He regrets immensely that he wasn't informed of Lady Arushale's visit in advance, otherwise he would have prepared a special lot exclusively for her. Master Sir Zaxxas remembers Lady Arushale's preferences very well, and he'd be happy to satisfy the wishes of such a discerning client. Please tell me, Master Zarzaxis, that I have no interest in his slaves anymore. I won't pay for them, neither in gold nor in other ways. Everything in this place is so horrible. Sell me that dredge. Zarzaxis begins to snort, spraying saliva. He bows quickly, which causes a short, uncertain pause in the slave's speech. This dredge, like the other demon in the shipment, is set aside for Lady Hepzamira. Without a doubt, this lazy waste of flesh caught today in the lower city will never prove to be a useful worker. He still belongs to a new mistress, and she's a very influential person. Therefore, trying to deceive her would be very disrespectful and dangerous. And Master Zaxxas would never commit such a foolish act. He resents your suggestion that he's capable of doing anything of the kind. Master Zaxxas is insulted and outraged. There are not many vices that can surpass the greed of the demons, but the pride is one of them. Imagine what a tremendous power has when the two are combined. As disgusting as it is for me to think of this advice, listen to me. If the scoundrel feels insulted, offer him gold, not as part of the deal, but as a compensation for the insult. Perhaps gold can compensate for the insult I've inflicted? Master Zaxxas finds your deal very respectable. He kindly agrees to accept the sum of 30,000 gold to atone for your insult you've inflicted. Taking into account your unfamiliarity with the customs, Master Zaxxas will not demand your hand or eye in recompense. For his part, Master Zaxxas considers it undesirable to keep this dredge in his stock, for you as cause of your disagreement. As a gesture of reconciliation, you would like to immediately release him and drive him out of this unpleasant incident. Might be considered settled and forgotten. There we go, let's do it. Master Zaxxas congratulates you on a successful purchase. Come on, Suture. I have no idea what Hepzamira needs slave, but from what I've heard, they don't live long. Becoming your property is a death sentence, no doubt about it, meaning you saved me, so I guess How were you captured? I was wandering in the lower city, searching for something, never mind what. I mean, that's not what I meant to say. It's a personal matter, yeah, that's the right way to put it. So I was roaming around, chatting with all and sundry, when the slave hunters appeared and started chasing us. They threw those of us who survived in the cage and brought us here. This is a typical occurrence in the Abyss. Social dynamics, it's called. They strong and slave the weak. What will you do now? I continue my search. I will. It won't be easy, but I'll prove to her that I'm smarter and wilier than she thinks. What are you looking for? Don't ask. It's none of your business. Bye. I mean, you... Just be careful. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're welcome. What did Hepzamira and Shamira buy your slaves? Lady Hepzamira is extremely secretive. No one knows what she's up to, and no one wants to ask unnecessary questions because Lady Hepzamira has already proven she is quite powerful. Snooping around her business could be dangerous. Well, Lady Shamira brings Lady Hepzamira with her, and she says she needs stupid but strong slaves. Master Zaxxas never asks questions and does not hold a grudge for the meatball nickname. Master Zaxxas is wise and shows restraint. One of the demon guards clearly grows interested in the conversation and consciously leans forward. So Zaxxas whips him across the muzzle with a lightning-fast blow. The demon's head explodes like a watermelon dropped from a great height. Master Zaxxas would like to remind everyone that unnecessary curiosity can be very harmful for servants, especially if the curiosity regarded like the master's business. Let's see your slaves. I'm afraid Master Zaxxas must reject your offer. All of his slaves were caught to satisfy personal requests by the most esteemed upper city residents. Master Zaxxas is the most influential of the slavers, and he can't afford to waste his time on something as pointless as negotiating with a stranger. Who are you, demon? Demon answers a lengthy barking tirade and the interpreter listens carefully to every grunt. Master Sar's axis is so hard for me to say, and I'm probably saying it wrong. Comes from the remote corner of the abyss, extremely far from these parts. Practically no one in all of Lucianera has heard from a magnificent place that Master Sar's homeland. He would happily return there because that place is superior to all other realms of the abyss. However, Master Sar finds himself fascinated with the concept of slavery in his homeland. The idea of owning other sentient beings does not exist. The common practice there is to kill anyone who is not like you. Master Sar has spent a lot of time studying the sophisticated art of slaveholding and has become the most respected slave trader in the whole of Lucianera. He is equally disgusting inside and out. Horrible, horrible demon, the most repulsive I've ever seen. Tell Master Sar it is wrong to treat living things like this. Master Sar is deeply indifferent to your opinion regarding the slave trade and the order he has established here at the Fleshmarket. Master Sar does not find it necessary to listen to the advice of strangers who have come from a proven plane that will soon be conquered. Are you Sar's slave? The demon bursts into an indignant gurgling without even understanding a single word. You quickly conclude that he's displeased. Master Sar wishes you to cease your attempts to bypass him and communicate directly with his property. The provenance of his property is a matter concerning Master Sar's alone, no one else's. Like no more with the Fleshmarkets. Master Sar finds your curiosity commendable. He is willing to outline the basic principles of the Fleshmarkets and its hierarchy. He is willing to explain the intricacies of the highly respected occupation of a slaver. It would take a lot of effort to find a place more disgusting than this one. Even here in the Abyss, in the old days, my warriors and I that broke many slave collars and only countless slaves out of the Abyss. What is this place? This place is called the Fleshmarkets because you can buy living and healthy flesh. Slaves for housekeeping, slaves for carnal pleasures, fighting slaves, sacrificial slaves, slaves of an edible nature. Every day, hundreds of slaves are shipped here and hundreds of customers come to buy them. Where do you get your slaves? The majority of the slaves are captives seized during raids of other planes. Master Sar's axis, I said it though, is happy to inform me that the Galarian is one of the main supply channels. The Abyss itself supplies a fair share of slaves as well. Demons have no prejudice against enslaving their own kin. Demonic slaves are more hard-wearing and last longer than slaves from most other planes. Who runs the Fleshmarkets? Master Sar has the honor of being the informal head of the Fleshmarkets because the main supplier in the upper city. All the individuals who dared challenge Master Sar's primacy renounced their false claims, became his slaves, and are now proudly wearing his personal insignia carved on their faces with cold iron. With a demanding crack of the whip, Sars calls one of his demons standing nearby. The latter kneels hastily, obediently hides his eyes, and extends his palms up. Sars seems satisfied with the display of obedience, so he lets the demon go by whipping him lightly over his shoulders and leaving a ruby-red welt on his skin. As you may have noticed, Master Sars' authority here in the Fleshmarket is absolute. I see. I have to go. Master won't keep you any longer. We wish to state that he found this conversation very entertaining and wishes you fruitful trading and good meat in your cages. Well, guys, I think that was... We did kind of like a lot here, I feel, honestly. We talked to a bunch of people. We spent a lot of gold, I'll tell you that much. And I mean, yeah, we did quite a bit down here in the Fleshmarkets. Took up basically the entire episode. There's only like one thing left here to do, and it's this. So let's see. I don't think we can even fail this, but we might be able to.
Splendidly.
The island floating in the air is not the byproduct of great magic energy of the chaos that endow them with their bizarre properties, and they're not even the most amazing thing that can be found in the Abyss. No, but they're the most amazing thing that can give me XP right then, which is great. Apparently. Oh, it's because he killed somebody, right? Yeah, he popped that guy. We'll take his loot real quick, don't mind me. Dang, it's a lot of money right there. Alright guys, but that's going to do it for this episode. I will see you all in the next one.
Onward.
There's actually another path down here that I'm going to take. I remember it was over here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace! Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you've got anything to say, go to the comments below. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscription button and the bell. If you want to see more, check out this video down here. Thank you so much for watching. Peace!